The story begins with a man named Song Ji-hun. We learn it was his daughter's birthday, so his mother gives him some money to take her out for dinner. However, that money wasn't enough. So he steals his mother's ATM card and empties her account at the ATM. He then bets that money on a horse race and wins 4 billion won. Since Ji-hun had borrowed a lot of money from a company, when they find out he won a lot of money at the horse race, everyone chases him and beats him badly. When Ji-hun checks his pocket to return their money, he finds it empty. The money he won from the horse race is gone. He then remembers that while fleeing from these people, he bumped into a girl and fell. So it's possible that girl pickpocketed him. Since Ji-hun had no money, they give him a month to return their money, or else it would be very bad. Afterward, Ji-hun arranges some money and takes his daughter to dinner. Ji-hun quickly arrives at the train station, but his train has already left. As Ji-hun was sitting somewhere waiting for another train, a stranger approaches him. The man sits there and tells Ji-hun, "I want to play a game with you, and if you win, I'll give you 100,000 won." Seeing such a large amount of money, Ji-hun agrees to play the game. After taking many hits, Ji-hun finally wins the game, meaning he wins 100,000 won. The stranger then gives Ji-hun a card and tells him that if he wants to win more money, he should contact the number on the card. When he goes home that evening, his mother tells him that his daughter is moving to America with her stepfather next year. Through this, we learn that Ji-hun is divorced and his wife has married someone else. But Ji-hun absolutely didn't want his daughter to move away from him. However, he needed a lot of money to regain custody of his daughter. It was clear he didn't have that much money. So, Ji-hun calls the number printed on the card the man gave him. Afterward, Ji-hun is picked up in a car with other people. Everyone in the car is knocked unconscious, and when they all open their eyes, they are in a large hall. There are a total of 456 people in that hall, and they are all players. This is because they were all wearing the same type of uniform. Here, we see the game's host, who is wearing a mask and watching over everyone. The most common thing here was that everyone brought here had somehow accumulated an impossible amount of debt. Ji-hun meets player number 1 here, an old man. The old man has a brain tumor, which is why he came here, as his life is ending very soon anyway. Here we see 2 players, a boy named Sang-woo and a girl named Sae Byok. A fight breaks out between them. Now Sae Byok was the girl who ran away with Ji-hun's money, meaning she had pickpocketed him. Ji-hun recognizes her when he sees her, so he goes to her to ask for his money back. At that moment, some guards in pink uniforms appear, their faces well covered. The guards inform all the players that they have to play a total of 6 games, and the winner of these games will be given a lot of money. Afterward, they all sign a contract, and this contract has 3 rules. The first was that no player could leave the game on their own free will. The second rule was that any player who refused to play the game would be eliminated from it, and what they meant by elimination we would find out later. And the third rule of this game was that if most people didn't want to play the game, they could all leave the game. Then everyone is taken for the game. This is where Ji-hun sees his former classmate, Sang-woo, whom he had known since childhood. Ji-hun is quite surprised to see him because he had left the country for some business. Then, for the first game, there was a large doll in a large field, and the rules of this game were quite simple. The rule was that when the doll sings, everyone has to move forward, and as soon as it stops singing, they all have to stop and not move at all. And if anyone moves, they will be eliminated. All of this seemed like fun here, but when a boy moves, he is shot and killed. And elimination meant that they would be killed. Seeing this, everyone gets very scared and realizes they are trapped. So, some people start running away in fear. And since the game rule was that whoever moved would be eliminated, those who moved were killed. And all those who survived somehow finished this game. But the bodies of those who died were removed from there. And now, out of 456 players, only 255 remained. Since all the players were so scared, no one wanted to play this game. But as per rule number 3, if the majority wanted, they could skip this game here. So, the man in front conducts a vote. But before voting, they are shown the prize money, which would be given to the winner. But if anyone left this game, all this money would be given to the families of the dead players. And this prize money was a total of 45 billion won. Afterward, voting takes place, where the majority did not want to play this game. So, this game is stopped here. But if they want in the future, they can participate in this game again. Then everyone is sent home. The next day, Ji-hun goes to the police station and reports everything. But the police did not believe Ji-hun and thought he was crazy. Ji-hun also shows the card he was given. But surprisingly, the number on that card was wrong. When Ji-hun goes home from the police station, his mother is not there. Meanwhile, Ji-hun's classmate, Sang-woo, was secretly watching his mother. Just then, Ji-hun arrives. Sang-woo sadly reveals that he is stuck in 6 billion won of debt. He explains that he had invested clients' money in the stock market. But unfortunately, all that money was lost. Then Ji-hun receives a call from the hospital. Ji-hun's mother's leg was quite injured, but since she didn't receive treatment, her injury had worsened. So the doctor informs Ji-hun that his mother can be treated, but for this, they will have to amputate her leg. But this treatment required a lot of money. It was clear now that Ji-hun did not have that much money. He had even used his mother's insurance money for the horse race. So, very ashamed, Ji-hun goes to his wife to ask for money. But his wife refuses to give him money. Then his wife tells her husband that Ji-hun had come to ask for money. While leaving, her husband comes to give Ji-hun money. He also says that in the future, he should never see his family again. But Ji-hun hits him. Just then, his daughter arrives. On the other hand, Se-byok meets an agent. This is because she had to bring her mother from North Korea to South Korea. Se-byok was the girl who had stolen Ji-hun's money. But here, she needed a lot of money to bring her mother. We learned that Se-byok had a younger brother, whom she had promised that she would definitely bring their mother back. Next, we are shown a police officer. He learns that his brother had been missing for a few days. So, he had come to his brother's house. But here, he also learns that for the past few days, his brother has not been at his house either. While searching the house, he finds a card, and this police officer had seen exactly such a card at the police station with Ji-hun. And he quickly goes to Ji-hun and asks him about it. But now Ji-hun says nothing to him. Afterward, Ji-hun sees the same card again on his front door. Seeing that card, Ji-hun decides that this time he will play the game again. So all the players are taken to a large ship. The officer also follows their cars to the ship. He kills a guard and throws him into the water. Then all the players are brought to another island. All these players had no idea what the next game would be or how to play it. Afterward, they all form their own separate teams. At night, we see Se-byok and her female friend go to the toilet. There, Se-byok evades the guards and starts investigating the area. Just then, she sees some guards making strange things in large pots. But the guard here gets suspicious, so he comes to check the toilet. But by then, Se-byok had returned to her spot. Afterward, Se-byok tells her female friend everything she had just seen. But Sang-woo overhears their conversation. So he asks Se-byok about this. In response, Se-byok tells him that they were cooking something in large pots. In the next scene, all the players are taken to the game field, where they see 4 shapes in front of them. They had to choose any one of those 4 shapes. This time, Sang-woo understands what the game is and how to play it. Sang-woo says that everyone has to choose a different shape. Then they are all given a small container. A shape was made here. The game rule was that everyone had to somehow extract that shape intact. And if anyone's shape broke while extracting it, they would be eliminated, meaning they would die. Now Sang-woo extracts that shape. But Ji-hun was still playing the game. His condition had started to worsen, and he was also getting nervous. But he still somehow manages to win the game. And the losing players are shot and killed right there. Here, 187 players had returned, but now only 108 players remained among them. Then they are all taken to eat. But during the meal, Jang gets into an argument with a boy, where Jang hits the boy so badly that the boy dies right there. On the other hand, we see that there was a doctor among all those players who, along with the guards, used to extract organs from dead bodies and sell them. This is why when the bodies were taken away, they would disappear. All of this was happening according to a plan because all of this was hidden from the front man. And for this reason, one of their men was sitting in the control room who would delete all their video footage. And in exchange for their work, the guards would let the doctor know the game rules so that he could survive well. Here, a guard tells his player, the doctor, that today we intentionally gave the players less food so that they would fight among themselves. The result of this would be that all the weak players would be eliminated, and with this, the guard informs the doctor about their next game. Now, after 30 minutes, the lights there are about to go out. Now, here, Sang-woo understands that Ji-hun's team will definitely do something wrong. So, he calls that team to him and tells them to stay calm. Meanwhile, the doctor who was a player joins Jang's team, and that doctor tells Jang what the next game will be. At night, after the lights go out, Jang and his team members kill the remaining weak players. Jang kills a girl and goes to hit Se Byuk. But then Ji-hun saves her. Then the guards come there and stop them all, and now a total of 80 people were left. Then they are all taken for the third game, and all players are told to form separate teams of 10, and they all do as they were told, forming their own teams. Now, since Jang knew what the next game was going to be, he kicks Se Byuk out of his team and only keeps men in his team. And Ji-hun also forms a team of his own. Now, since they needed a player, Se Byuk joins their team. So this game was tug of war. That is, they had to pull the opposing team down. Then the game starts, and Jang's team easily wins this game. Then it's Sang-woo's team's turn. The old man in his team says that he used to play a lot of tug of war in his childhood. So he guides them all on how to win this game, and after much effort, they also win this game. Then it is shown that exactly half an hour later, the lights will go out again. Ji-hun then tells everyone to be ready this time, and they all decide that they will take turns guarding. And now, Jang's team had one clever player after another. So Jang was afraid that his team might kill him. On the other hand, the doctor and the guard were extracting organs from the dead, and 2 guards had to go to deliver those organs. There they all start talking about a dead body that had 1 kidney, and they all called him a zombie. Now, guard number 29, meaning the one who had to deliver those organs, was none other than the officer who had disguised himself as a guard while pursuing a guard. And hearing this, he suspects that perhaps these people are talking about his missing brother, because his brother also had 1 kidney. Afterward, guard numbers 28 and 29 leave to deliver those organs. On the way, the officer sees that bombs have been set in the tunnel. Then number 28 tells him that when we get out of here, this place will explode. And now the officer tries to get more information from guard number 28. Hearing him, guard number 28 starts to suspect him. So he asks the officer to remove his mask. The officer shows his face, but at the same time he also points a gun at him, and with this the officer asks him about the 1 kidney man. Who was he whom you called a zombie? In response, the man from number 28 says that she was a girl. And he also says that you can see all the information in the leader's room. All the data is there. After knowing this, the officer kills guard number 28 right there. Meanwhile, the doctor asks the guard about the next game. But this time, the guard also didn't know anything about the next game. So, the doctor gets very angry and grabs a guard. This leads to a fight between them. At this time, the doctor kills that guard and escapes from there. Another guard chases the doctor, both of whom come to a game field. Here, the guard was about to trap the doctor with his words and kill him, but just then, the leader, meaning the front man, kills that guard and later kills the doctor too. Along with them, the dead body of guard number 28 is found there, which makes them understand that someone has infiltrated the facility. Meanwhile, the officer had reached the front man's room. As he was looking around that room, he enters a room where everyone's records were kept. And when the officer was checking everything, he saw a list of all the winners where his brother's name was also present, meaning he had also won this game at some point. Meanwhile, all the players are taken to play the 4th game. At that time, they are all told to choose a partner, and all those players choose a partner as they were told. Se Byuk's female friend also tries to find a partner, but no one was willing to be her partner. Now, to play the next game, all players are given 10 marbles each. Actually, the rule of this game was that a player had to win all the marbles from their opponent without any force. And the second player, meaning the one who had no marbles left, would be eliminated, meaning killed. Here, Sang-woo and Ji-hun's friend play an odd or even game where they had to guess how many marbles the other person had. Now, here, Ji-hun's friend had won all of Sang-woo's marbles, and Sang-woo had 1 marble left. Now, since he completely understood that he would not survive, he tricks Ji-hun's friend into believing that if one of us loses, the losing players will have a rematch. And Sang-woo deceptively switches all of Ji-hun's friend's marbles. Then Sang-woo takes the marbles and gives them to the guard and leaves. And when Ji-hun's friend sees his marbles, they are stones. Meanwhile, player number 1, the old man, was in a bad condition. So he was just wandering around. But Ji-hun somehow convinces him to play. Here, the two of them, Ji-hun and the old man, play the odd or even game. Among them, the old man wins all of Ji-hun's marbles. In the next round, the old man forgets what he had chosen, meaning his memory was gone. So, taking advantage of this opportunity, Ji-hun tricks him with his words and takes all his marbles. But here, the tables turn because the old man was quite clever. He had kept 1 marble to himself and started wandering around again. Now here, Ji-hun starts trying to convince him a lot. Please play with me. Then the old man says, I know you cheated and took all my marbles. He tells Ji-hun, I knew everything. I was just pretending to lose my memory. Hearing this, Ji-hun feels sorry for him and gives him all the marbles. On the other hand, Sae Bayok and her female friend were also playing this game. Their game was that whoever threw their marble closest to the wall would win this game. First, Sae Bayok throws her marble. But when it's her friend's turn, she stops. But when Sae Bayok sees her doing this, she tells her to throw again. Hearing this, she tells her, No, I am completely alone. I have no one behind me. But if something happens to you, what will happen to your mother and your brother? And so, Sae Bayok's friend is killed right there. Afterward, all their dead bodies are removed from there, and all the remaining players return to the money room. Now here, we learn that Sae Bayok's friend was also Jang's girlfriend. But now there was an argument between the two of them about something. So, Jang's girlfriend starts annoying him. Then the front man finds the officer's ID card near a dead body. Then the front man learns that all the VIPs have arrived. So the front man goes to pick them up. Then all the VIPs are brought to their rooms. Afterward, the front man informs another person about the arrival of the VIPs, and this person was the mastermind of the game who was orchestrating the entire bloody game. And who this person actually was, we will find out later. The next day, all the players are brought to play the 5th game. All the players see numbers from 1 to 16 written on a bridge, and all those players quickly choose their numbers. This number meant that the player who played first would then have their turn. Now here, the first and last numbers remain, meaning 1 and 16. So, Ji-hun gets confused about whom to choose, 1 or 16. If he chooses the first number, he will be trapped, meaning he will die. And if he takes number 16, he might not even get a turn, and the guards will kill him. Just then, a man comes there and tells Ji-hun that he wants the first number because he has never been first in his life. Then they are brought inside the game. Now, the rule of this game was that everyone had to cross from one bridge to another one by one within a specified time. But there were 2 types of glass in between them. One was normal glass and the second was tempered glass. As soon as you step on the normal glass, it will break and the player will fall down. Then the game starts and they all start dying one by one. After some time, a moment comes when Jang is in front of everyone, and he was not moving forward. Now they had one way out, either move forward or everyone would die here. Then his girlfriend comes in front of Jang. She was annoying him, and she tells Jang, "Didn't I tell you that the day you betray me, I will kill you?" Then she grabs Jang and jumps straight down with him, causing both of them to die there. Now there was a man there who worked for a glass company, and he knew which was the tempered glass. But when the front man learns this, He turns off the lights there so that they cannot distinguish the glass. Now only one step was left and they also had no time. So Sang-woo pushes that man and takes his life. As a result, Sang-woo, Ji-hun, and Se-byok cross this bridge. But they are quite injured because of the glass breaking. Se-byok was more injured. Meanwhile, the officer had killed a maid and taken her place. But just then, a VIP gets suspicious of that officer and tells him to remove his mask. The officer agrees to remove his mask but says, "I will open my mask inside." Afterward, the officer takes the VIP inside. Inside, the officer knocks the VIP unconscious. But the front man learns about this. So the front man chases him and sees the officer. And when the officer learns, he escapes from there and comes to another island. The front man also follows him there. Here, the officer tries to call his senior, but his call gets disconnected. Then the officer sends all his evidence. But there was a network problem there. Then the front man catches the officer and tells him to come with him. But the officer shoots the front man. Then the front man takes off his mask, and the officer realizes that it was none other than his brother, who had been missing a few days ago and whom he had come here to find. Afterward, the officer's brother, the front man, shoots him and he falls straight down. On the other hand, Se-byok was quite injured due to the glass and was bleeding profusely. Then the three living players are brought for dinner, and each of them is given a knife. Meaning, tonight, any of the three of them would kill each other. Then Ji-hun sees that Se-byok's condition has worsened. So, he tells Se-byok not to worry. The two of us are together, and in this game, the two of us will defeat Sang-woo. Afterward, we will go out of here and divide the money in half. Se-byok tells Ji-hun that she has a younger brother whom she left in a children's factory. And if one of us goes out of this game, then we will both take care of each other's families. Now, Se-byok's condition had worsened, and she needed a doctor. So Ji-hun goes to get help. But by the time he comes to her, Sang-woo had already finished Se-byok. The next day, the two of them are taken for the final game. The rules of the game were now quite simple: kill or be killed. And the name of this game was Squid Game. Then the game starts and there is a big fight between the two of them. But Sang-woo's condition starts to worsen. Then he says that he wants to stop this game right here. And just then, Ji-hun tells Sang-woo to come with him. But Sang-woo kills himself. As a result, Ji-hun wins this game completely. Then the front man tells Ji-hun that he played very well. But I didn't expect this. Afterward, Ji-hun is dropped off at his house, and he also had an ATM card. And when Ji-hun checks that ATM card, he sees that all the money has been transferred to his account. Then Ji-hun goes to his house, but by then, his mother had passed away. Then we are shown a scene 1 year later where we see that Ji-hun's condition has now worsened. That is, he has now become quite addicted, and he still hasn't touched that money. One day, a flower vendor, a woman, comes to him and gives him a card just like the one he had, which had an address written on it. Afterward, Ji-hun goes to that address, where it is revealed that this entire game belonged to no one else but the old man, player number 1, and he is still alive. Here, the old man tells Ji-hun that, "I was fed up with my life, and I created all these games with my clients so that I could enjoy watching people die, but we didn't force anyone to do so. And I participated in this game because it's more fun to play than to watch." He says, "The money you have is all mine." And while saying this, the old man dies. Afterward, Ji-hun goes to Se-byok's younger brother and takes him to Sang-woo's mother so that she can take care of him. And he tells Sang-woo's mother, "Please take care of this child." Along with that, he also gives her a bag where there was a lot of money. Then Ji-hun goes to the station. Just then, he sees the man he first met there. Here, Ji-hun also follows him. But by then, he had already escaped. Then Ji-hun calls the number on that card and asks, "Who are you? And why are you doing this to people? Why are you playing with people's lives?" But the answer from the other end is, "If you want to live, get on the plane." And with this, the story ends. Friends, if you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you liked my movie explanation, Please comment and let me know.